But Mardi Gras, I'm waiting on that. I haven't even did no new researching about.
Yeah, Washington.
Mhm.
Somebody said, could you go in on the gold being enticed from 9/11 deal?
Yeah, that was discovered when one of the van's tires melted trying to escape and it got trapped down there. And then they realized that it was multiple vans full of gold. And they also got footage of them on some kind of camera that they had in there loading the gold up. That's how we know about it. It's probably going to come out with the release of the 9/11 files. That should be coming up soon.
Yeah, Donald Trump. Yeah, that's another thing, man. Donald, like he released in the stuff about which we already know about the Kennedy, the driver shot him. We already Bill Cooper had already told everybody, William Cooper. But all of this stuff that's being released, Martin Luther King, we knew that about that. So a lot of the stuff that's coming out, we already knew. But Trump, it's all coming out. That's why like the year of truth,
Hey,
2025, man.
remember, the Supreme Court of the United States had ordered the case file sealed for Martin Luther King, JFK, RFK into the year 2025.
Yeah.
Right? It's the year 2025, so they already knew. That's also in Behold a Pale Horse. You talk about it in there, and it's another book called War at Home.
Mm-hmm.
I think he talk about it in there too. He got a thicker version of it that go into more stuff, but it's not called War at Home, but it's the same author and it's the same material, just expanded. But in there, he talk about the sealing of the files. Tupac files were sealed in 2025, but they released them early. They released Tupac files, Biggie files, Michael Jackson's, Prince, all of them celebrities' files have been released,
So
and all of them being extorted by the JDL.
So do it, yeah. So do the Tupac file? Do it say that they still don't know his whereabouts? They can't confirm his death.
Who?
Tupac.
Wait a minute. Say it again. I didn't understand the question. I didn't hear the question.
The files they leaked, did it go into that he faked his death?
No, it's they go for the Las Vegas narrative in the file, and they stop reporting on it at 2025. But one of the Las Vegas homicide detectives did a newspaper report, and he said, and there's more evidence Tupac is alive than dead. So I don't know what they're doing with Keefe D.
Damn. I believe that too, man. It's too much shit. Then how the hell he gonna shoot a video about him escaping to Mexico and then on the
but Mexico, it was Arizona.
Okay, Arizona. Yeah, well, yeah, to the Nation of Islam camp.
Wasn't the Nation of Islam camp? It was a reservation.
Like for the Nation of Islam?
No, the native
women. It was Muslim women in the video.
The right, but them just the people that was in the video. It was okay. So they built up. It's some of the poorest tribes on the land was in Arizona.
Okay. Yep.
And Tupac wanted to give some economic stimulus to those impoverished tribes down there.
Wow.
And one of them adopted him as their high chief. And they all swore allegiance, and they got a whole bunch of Cali. It'd be a bad idea to run up on him. I can tell you that. No matter who you is, it's a bad idea. If he ain't coming and invite you to come see him, like he did DMX. That's what DMX got arrested in Arizona for. They wanted him to tell him more about this, what Tupac was doing. He want to know what he up to. They know he ain't gone. Damn. But they want to know what he up to. And DMX played crackhead. No, I'm just sitting there looking for something. Put something in the air, smoking or something. I don't know what you're talking about.
Man,
right. Remember Dog Man got caught playing the police?
Yeah.
Remember what he said he told him?
You said Dog Man, the dog DMX.
Yeah. You remember what he said he told the police?
No, I don't remember.
He said he told the police, y'all actors, y'all playing the role. I might as well get in on some of this too.
Damn.
And that's why they arrested him.
That's
He
crazy.
told them they was acting, playing a role.
Hey, what you say don't make sense. It sound about right because they kind of show like they kind of allude to the fact that the Nation of Islam might have helped him, like helped some kind of way, helped him get to that part too. You think so?
Well, based on Quincy Jones said that it was the Nation of Islam that did the shooting in Vegas.
Damn. Yeah, the same with Biggie. They said the same about Biggie. A dude dressed like the Nation of Islam was the one that he like a dude that did the shoot.
It's basic math 101. Why was Rizza Islam present when Nipsey got shot?
Damn, this shit getting.
Why was Nipsey mama sitting in the same parking lot when Nipsey gets shot in the car? What was she looking for? She the one said it out of her mouth. She said, I was there. I was sitting right there in the car. So she knows something. What she know? Right?
Good question.
So it's a whole lot of other stuff going on. We know who put the hit on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they can, according to the rules of war. Remember Tupac said, I did everything righteous by the rules of war. You remember him saying that?
Right.
Okay, now, according to the rules of war, if a general or a high-ranked military official on the battlefield is at a high chance of being assassinated, then it's the supreme commander's job, the one that's the overseer of all of the leaders, to pull him off the battlefield so that his valuable strategic knowledge can be used, but they can't assess for him on the battlefield. Right? That's straight out of Machiavelli, straight out of Sun Tzu, straight out of Mao Zedong. Right? So when you take somebody out of the game, that means you confirm that he's the target. It's like when you playing chess and somebody pushing too hard on you, and then you have to make a castle move.
Yeah,
that's the same thing.
Yeah. Somebody said, "Why are Africans trying to claim us now? Trying to say we are from Africa?"
Listen, all Africans don't think we from Africa. Most of them know we not from Africa, but everybody that look like us ain't us. Some of the people that's trying to lure us over there is doing that because they work for somebody who want to lay claim to this land.
The black hand, white glove. You said it. I've been noticed they doing that though. They the one promoted to go back to Africa thing. They the one set up the Pan African movement. These guys, I mean, not the Pan African movement. Well, I mean to say the JDL.
Listen, that's where your Niagara movement came from. All those was being put together at the same time. The Niagara movement became the NAACP.
Yeah.
Their job was to get the angry niggas and calm them down. That's it. Nothing else.
Damn.
Because if you pay attention, all they ever did is calm the angry niggas down when they got mad. They never did nothing else.
Yeah. Jesse Jackson's and Al Sharp, the niggas.
Anyway, so these organizations is being put up as institutions because it's easier to fight an individual with an institution than it is to fight him alone.
Right.
And so they wage war against us individually, and because we don't know it, we end up getting slapped by the invisible man. We're gonna fight the nigga closest to us. We get slapped upside the head by the unseen hand. As soon as we turn around, we see somebody that's from the neighboring tribe, and we think he's the bad guy.
Right.
Right. He ain't the unseen hand. He got slapped by him too. That's why he over here looking at you.
Somebody said, "Will the United States go to war with the Mexican cartel?"
That's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. It says, let's see, Nipsey Hussle. Is Nipsey Hussle still alive?
He's in Eritrea. He went back to his people's land to lay low until the storm was over.
What else y'all got, man? It says, how many original tribes are in America currently?
It's thousands of us over here. Tribes is families,
Yeah,
extended family structures.
yeah.
And they broke up the families in order to break up our understanding of how to operate from the farm to the city. They wanted to make a disconnect. Every family had a family farm that they turned into a plantation. They turned Big Mama house into the big house. Sweetheart swindled their way in to sell the land because we didn't believe in selling land. It's all in front of us, but we seeing it from where somebody else is telling us to look. But look where they told you not to look, you're gonna find more of the right answers than to look where they told you to look. Because when you look where you told they tell you to look, that's the same as the herding dog herding the sheep in the direction he want them to go.
What else y'all got, man? So raw, and then how long you think paper money got till it goes out? Paper money, because it seemed like to me, how long you think?
We're gonna have some kind of currency that's not a card. That's gonna be the first one. Gonna be an interim currency, right? Once we first start back, because we got to redesign the currency. So whatever they come out with, we don't know if we're gonna keep it or redesign it yet. All of the states, just about like 40-something states, have already voted to go back to the gold standard. So we got an overwhelming majority that want to go back to the gold standard. Canada has the same CASHAPP number as America. That means seizing the corporation sees the Canadian corporation as well. When the Canadian corporation was seized, that left Queen Diallo as the commander-in-chief, right? And it took that French puppet, what's his name? I don't remember his name. But it took him, and he became part of the Canadian version of the deep state, right? And then they got a whole bunch of tribal efforts going on across the northern lands they call Canada, that's also pushing for all of the tribes to restore tribal jurisdictional supremacy across the land. By disqualifying the judges, by putting them on notice, the judges and the lawyers, what does that do for all of the cases that judges and lawyers been adjudicating? If we find out they criminals, we find out they foreign agents. Think about that, let that sink in. They don't belong here. And they sending people to prison, but they don't belong here. How do they do that when they don't belong here? Who told us to agree to that? When did we agree to that? Because in the Constitution that we apparently they say we agreed to it, but I don't see Chief Little River name on the Constitution. I don't see Chief Standing Bear. I don't see Chief Yellow Hawk or none of that on the Constitution. So who is these people and what do they have to do with us? And why should we care? If we don't see no tribal leadership's name on this paper and all of the names is European, that means it's a European operation. It's not a tribal operation from us. Most of us was written in their law as outlaw tribes, belligerent tribes, non-treaty dependent nations. When they say non-treaty, that means that we the ones they at war with. But we became so comfortable and conditioned in the system because we've learned how to function reasonably well in this system that we forget that it was better before they came than it is today. So the people got to see the absurdity in order to witness the fall of this shenanigans charade.
Somebody said, you think Donald Trump gonna make Canada the 51st state after he offered that
All of the
300
lines of demarcation gonna change.
Say that again, Rod.
All of the lines of demarcation is gonna change. None of the names of none of the states is gonna be the same. The outline, the land, the territory that they map out as that state is not gonna be the same state line as it was before. We might go back to territories, right? I'm not sure what the layout gonna be because that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. But I do know that we have to change the names of all the capitals. Yep. We have to change all the lines of demarcation, and we have to change the name of as many cities as possible in our process of reclaiming everything. We can't leave it like they left it.
Hey, if you want to find out what tribe you from, for like 10 different people ask that question.
And they're not treating them the way they need to be treated. That's one end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is like, yo, we are different. We have to get treated differently because we are different. We have to, you know, whatever. So, Rod, I want to go historical. I'm not necessarily, because like I said, I don't want to.
I'm with you.
Flag the channel or something like that. But it's just constantly, since the time I was born, you always hear about race, black, white. You see Rodney King. You see this. It's when you white, sometimes you could ignore it because you ain't got to go through shit in terms of race-related issues. But when you black, that shit is in your face all the time. You could ignore it and act like you're oblivious to it, or you could accept it and decide whether or not you're going to triumph over it. Some people don't fall victim to it. Other people, such as myself, says I'm greater than that. I'm literally God incarnate in human form. So not even racism, white supremacy, nothing could stop this train from rolling. So there's different ways of going about it. But Rod, to go way back, I was talking to what's the brother's name? Q Reeves, and he was talking about the root races. I'm trying to figure out, when did all this shit start? How did we even get from spirit to dragon form? Niggas said we was dragons. Then they said we was this. Then we was that. We was green and we was this. That all of a sudden we became brown. Let's talk about the root races a little bit. And I know you told me Madame Blavatsky talked about that. What can you tell me about the root races on planet Earth, Rodriguez?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a good example. You know, you got the Sign Bushman, right?
Yeah.
And you got the Pygmy. These are two of the oldest root races on the planet. They both little people. They both melanated, but they not the same people. Right? And the Khoisan is a couple thousand years older, I think, than the Pygmy or the Twa.
Right.
Right. So we talking first and second root race. When we talking root race, this is how they got us separated in the Darwinian evolutionary theory. Homo sapien, Homo erectus, Homo habilis, Homo Cro-Magnon man. All of these different subgroups are different, what they call races. Now I got a sidetrack on the race philosophy because the race is the way the war is being fought. The turn everybody against the ones who is the birthright heirs was the intent. The skin color paradigm was used, but the caste system was applied through skin color. When you remember that they wouldn't have let us into any institutions, Dr. Neely Fuller told us 9 areas of people activity, add health, you got 10, right? They used that race dynamic and superiority and inferiority complexes to control people. Most of us don't know that all of those mulattoes from the South married pale faces in the North when they escaped after the so-called Emancipation Proclamation. Right? That's what the whole purpose of that movie, Imitation of Life, is, to show you that a lot of us, we went off path and became big celebrities in Hollywood and on Broadway and some of the plays that traveled the world. Right? They was passing.
Give me an example. Somebody was passing. Give me an example.
Elvis Presley, John Wayne, Marilyn Monroe, J. Edgar Hoover. I can sit there and do this until I'm blue in the face. And some of the people, they be like, he wasn't passing. They was passing. Elvis' mama was an octoroon.
They could keep Elvis, man. They could keep Elvis around.
Hey, look, I don't care what they do with him.
But his mom was an octoroon.
Yeah. But because we have to remember that this is God's crucible. What do you do in a crucible, Brother Rich?
What?
A crucible. What is it for? Another name for a crucible is the great melding pot. What do you do in a melding pot?
You mix.
Yeah, you mix metals. In this case, platinum group metals in the human family. The different root races is applied as a different platinum group metal. Right? When our skin color was primarily shades of green and blue, magnesium was the controlling element of the biology. Now that iron is, instead of tarnishing green or shades of blue, we rust brown or shades of brown. Or as my man like to say, shades of wheat.
Right.
We are just shades of wheat. But the oldest genetics has been exposed to the most challenges to the genetics, to the immune system. The longer your genetics been here, the more it has a built up collection of things that can defend against, and the more adaptable the genetic strain is. But that don't make you a better or a worse person. It just make you have a different genetic line than somebody else who probably can't fend off what you can fend off. Without going into some of the stuff. So some of the stuff required in allopathic medicine is not required in homeopathic medicine, because you treating from a homeostatic perspective instead of a petro-medical perspective. The petro companies, a lot of the drugs use different stabilizers from fossil fuels, and a lot of the oil reserve goes to medical production, and we don't even know about it. They're extracting parts of the